Alright, so I'm going to do the measure phase for discrete data. With discrete data, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot you can do, which is why it's always better to collect data in continuous format if possible. But for this exercise, let's say that I have, let me go to a blank. I have 45 students that showed up for my class, and I'm looking for defects, and I'm going to define my categories of defect are that they're late, no laptop, or the wrong laptop, which would be a Mac for my example, and not sober. We'll pretend this is clearly college, right? Exec Ed would never do this. So let's say 8 students are late, 10 don't have a laptop, and 1 was not sober. So clearly not a party school, thank goodness. So that is a total of what, 19 defects? And then what I need to know is how many units did I have, and each unit would be a student in this example, the thing that you're looking at. I have 3 opportunities for a defect, 3 categories, and I had 19 defects. So the first thing I'm going to do is calculate sigma. There were 3 opportunities for a defect, 45 students, and 19 defects. Now that doesn't mean 19 students had a problem. That means there were 19 defects. And I actually did have a case once where one student was late, not sober, and didn't have a laptop. It turns out later his night job was bartender, so he wasn't really intoxicated. He just looked really tired. So 2.58 sigma, 85% of the the probability of a defect, basically another way to say it is 0.14% probability of a defect. 85% of the class did not have a defect. And then basically the next thing you want to do is the Pareto chart. You just want to bring over that data and those labels. Actually, let me clear out this Pareto chart first. All you mess with is this part right here. Don't mess with the formulas. So I'm going to copy this, and I will paste it. Now, common mistake here is you end up, I jokingly say, giving me the middle finger. The Pareto chart should be a bar chart in descending order. So I just need to sort that real quick. And to be quite honest, I am not a Excel guru, so I forget where stuff is sometimes. So I'm going to custom sort by defects, largest to smallest. There you go. And there's our Pareto chart. All right, 52% of my issue is no laptop combined with late. That gets me over the 80-20 rule. You see the dot there? That got me over the 80-20 rule. But, Pareto doesn't know whether or not these two can be worked on together. It's up for you to decide, and I'm going to have to do some research. So as a master black belt right now, it looks like I have 2 separate projects, no laptop and late. If the late person comes back to me and maybe says after talking to some of the students that are late it was because they went back to get their laptop, then that would make a strong argument for combining these two together and going after a laptop project. All right, and again, just like earlier, this was the storyboard for continuous data. You'll see shortly. I can insert a new slide. The student project, right? That's my cover slide. And then I'm going to insert the business case. And I just need to put some strategic importance here. It's very important. Students show up to class on time. Alert, which we know is sober, and with all materials needed so that class can start on time and finish on time. All right, so that's why the project is important. All right, new slide. Problem and goal. Now this is maybe where you say to yourself, you know, do I really have a problem at 2.5 sigma? You could also go back and recalculate sigma to focus on one issue. The Pareto chart says no laptop. There were 10 of those. You could say one opportunity for a defect and not having the laptop, and now that would be a student-based issue. Only 77% of students showed up with a laptop. So you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to scope the project down, and I'm going to say that the problem is only 77% of students showed up with a laptop or the correct laptop. And I'm going to try to increase this to 100% by next semester. All right, this is a case, you'll see later, a 70% rule I've created. This is a case where we don't really have an entitlement at all. I'm pretending this is the first class and we've never done this before. New slide, operational definition. Right, so I need to tell the audience what is a good laptop. A good laptop for Lee's class is a PC in your possession, right, at the time of class, so that'll take care of people not having it, that is running Windows 10 and has MS Office installed with at least Excel 16, right? So that allows me to explain what a good laptop is. All right, let's go ahead and do our measure phase. You know, and basically, again, the takeaway is, do we have a problem? All right, so I'll go here, get my snipping tool real quick. New, grab that, paste it. Definitely need to shrink that down, don't we? And let's get our Pareto chart. Copy, bring that on over, and basically probably shrink that down a little bit. And by the way, when y'all do your projects for real, you don't have to, you know, it doesn't have to be, I'm not a PowerPoint judge. It can be crude and rip-o-matic like this as long as we're, you know, the big thing for me is on these slides you put some type of takeaway. I decided to focus in on just the laptop as evidence by the Pareto chart. All right, and then the sigma for just laptop is, I tell you what, I can't read that, so let me look here. 2.26, or only 77%. There you go, is 2.26, or in lay terms, only 77% of students have a laptop. Correct laptop. Remember, when y'all send me your deck, make sure there's some type of either lead-in statement that tells me what's going on or a takeaway statement. Otherwise, you know, I do enough of these, I might be able to infer what this chart is saying, but this will be very helpful to me. Some people say, well, you know, I already told them that, you know, in the problem statement that 77% of laptops, why do I show it again here? Because the measure phase is usually just, I don't believe you. You know, that's really what the measure phase is. I don't believe you. And now we're off and running the analyze phase. We've got a great project. We need to figure out why students are not showing up with their laptop or with the correct laptop.